Well, good morning. Good morning. This is Coffee with Carol, and I'm going to talk today about the promises that people make and the promises of God. When you're 3 years old and your parent says, I promise you, we will go this weekend to the park. And then they don't take you because something comes up. They need to go in a different direction. They need to go to the store. They need to do whatever. And they don't take you to the park. And then you're 5 and your mom or your dad says, after school, sometime this week, I promise you, we'll go to get ice cream. And the week goes by and they're not able to take you to get ice cream. So, oh well. You're 10 and you hear that promise of, you know what, I'm going to promise you I'll listen better next time. I'm really sorry. I promise you I'll listen better next time. And yet it doesn't seem like that happens. And then you're 16 and you hear, I'm not going to forget. I promise you I will not forget. And then they do. We don't trust words. Right? We don't trust the words of a person. We trust their actions. Words have little meaning when nobody follows through with them. So until you really know that the person is going to follow through on what they say they're going to do, that they're going to follow through on the promises that they make, you just kind of don't trust the words. And so as we get to adulthood, it's really easy to see how we lose trust in people and lose trust in what people say. And I can tell you all day long that God's promises are true. But unless you really know him and know that he will fulfill those promises or that you've seen it in action, you're probably not going to believe it. And so I really thought about that, because as we grow up in the church in faith, we hear these promises all the time that God's going to care for us, that he's always there, that he's going to take care of our needs. We don't have to worry about anything. He's our provision. He's our protector. He goes before us. All of these things that we hear, and yet we really don't believe them. We say we believe them, but we really don't trust that they're 100% true. The dangerous thing about this, though, is that there is somebody who believes every single one of those promises that God makes. And his biggest fear is that you're going to get to know God in such a way where you're going to begin to trust and believe the promises as well. And so his main job is going to work to keep you from spending time alone with God, from getting into his word, from learning who he is, and really starting to understand and trust and believe in the promises. And we all know who he is, right? So why do you think your day takes off the minute your feet hit the floor, right? There's no stopping to pray. You just get up and you get started. You say, we're going to do that later. There's bills to pay. There's schedules to keep. There's no time to pause. There's a fear of not enough time, not enough money, not enough whatever, right? That keeps us from pausing. It's kind of like a fire under us, actually. There's not enough. Let's go do this. Let's keep moving. Let's keep going. We've got to get this done. But for what, right? That's when we stand before the mirror and we go, is this all there is? I mean, like, really? Is this all there is? So how do you get to know the promise keeper? You know, how do you get to know the one that will always come through and always fulfill his promise? Well, you ask questions. Listen, you know, God is never, ever, ever going to be offended if you ask him direct questions like, what are you doing in my life? Can you reveal yourself to me? Can you show me something, show me some way that you are working in my life? You know, how do I learn about you? How do I seek your truth? How do I know what you're doing? Whatever comes to mind. He's never offended by those questions. He's only offended when you ignore him. Psalm 32, 8 through 11 says that he will instruct you and teach you the ways that you should go, and he will keep his eye on you at all times. He will instruct you and teach you in the ways that you should go, and he will keep his eye on you. What a great promise. If we would start just there, Lord, show me how you're instructing me. Show me how you're teaching me. Show me how you're keeping your eye on me. I want to know more. I want to know what this is all about. I think that once you start to know the promise keeper, once you start to know the one who will never let you down, and you really seek him with all your heart, he will begin to show you little by little, step by step, how he's working in your life and how you can trust his promises, how you can trust what he is telling you. There's power in the promise. There's power in those promises. And it starts with the morning routine. It starts with not ignoring God before your feet hit the floor. God does the how, and you do the do. I wish you an amazing Wednesday. Take care.